How you handle your money today will decide your freedom tomorrow. When it comes to money, most people work hard to earn it, but few understand how to make money work for them. This video will show you practical steps that change your relationship with money completely. Imagine waking up knowing your money is helping you build a life you want instead of just disappearing as soon as it arrives. That sense of control and confidence is possible once you know the right habits and mindset. Making your money work for you is not about luck, but consistent choices. Throughout this video, you will discover why having a clear plan and sticking to it matters more than quick fixes or shortcuts. You will learn how small, steady actions can turn into lasting results and how to stay focused even when things get tough. It's about understanding that your money is a tool to create freedom, not just to buy things. This is an opportunity to change how you think about money and take real steps toward building the future you deserve. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear could be the most important lesson you ever learn about your financial life. Now let's dive in. Number 1. Start saving early and build discipline with every dollar. The sooner you start saving, the sooner you start owning your life. You don't need to wait for a perfect paycheck or some magical moment when everything lines up. That moment may never come. What you have is today, and that's enough to start. The size of the amount doesn't matter. What matters is the act. Saving a small amount now is more powerful than waiting to save a big amount later. Because it's not about how much you save, it's about who you become when you save. Saving early builds more than just a bank account. It builds character. It builds responsibility. It teaches you how to control yourself and not let your wants drive every decision. You begin to live with purpose. You begin to feel in control instead of feeling lost. Every time you choose to save even a small amount, you're taking control of your future. That $1 you set aside might not seem like much today, but it represents a decision. And decisions like that, repeated over time, will shape your life. If you build the habit early, it becomes a part of you. And once it becomes part of you, it doesn't matter if your income grows or stays the same. You will always make saving a priority. You will always be prepared. When others are panicking, you will be calm. When unexpected things happen, you will not fall apart. You've built the habit, and the habit has built you. Discipline is not something that just happens. It's something you train for. You train it every time you tell yourself no. You train it when you choose to skip an impulse and save instead. You train it when you don't let your emotions make financial decisions for you. And every time you do that, you get stronger. That strength spreads into every area of your life. You start making better decisions with your time, with your health, with your relationships. Because discipline is connected. You improve one part and it lifts the rest. When you start saving early, you send a message to yourself. You say, I believe in my future. I believe in who I'm becoming. I care enough to protect tomorrow by making a smart decision today. That's powerful. That's how confidence is built. Not by talking big, but by doing small things with purpose. You feel better about yourself when you know you're not living just for the moment. You're living for something bigger. The earlier you begin, the more time you give your money to grow. And growth takes time. Nothing grows instantly. If you save now and stay consistent, you'll have options later. That's what savings really is. It's options. It means you don't have to say yes to things you don't like just because you're broke. It means you're not stuck in a job or a situation just to survive. It means you're not panicking when the car breaks or a bill shows up. You're ready, you're calm, you're strong. Some people think saving is boring. They want excitement, they want fast. But excitement fades, and speed without direction leads nowhere. Saving gives you direction. It gives you a solid ground. And when your life is built on that kind of foundation, you move forward with clarity. You're not chasing everything. You're focused. You're steady. Start small, but stay steady. If it's $5 a week, then do that. If it's 1% of your income, then start there. Don't underestimate what small can become. The real reward is not just the money itself, but the person you become through the process. You become someone who finishes what they start. You become someone who isn't tossed around by every new trend or pressure. You become dependable, not just to others, but to yourself. The money you save is not money you lose. It's money you protect. It's not disappearing, it's working. It's sitting quietly and giving you peace of mind. It's standing guard over your life. It's there when you need it. And it gives you the strength to make better choices because you're not desperate. Saving early also opens the door to learning. Once you start putting money aside, you start asking questions. What can I do with this? Where can I put it so it grows? What are my options? And now you're growing mentally as well as financially. You're learning because you've taken the first step. You've shown that you're serious, and seriousness attracts opportunity. Most people wish they had started earlier. Don't be one of them. Be the one who starts now. Be the one who looks back 5 years from today and says, I'm glad I began. Because you will never regret a dollar saved, but you will regret all the times you didn't. You will regret the years you spent reacting instead of preparing. Saving gives you power. Power to walk away. Power to choose better. Power to live with intention. And that power grows as your discipline grows. Every time you make the decision to save, you strengthen that power. And the stronger it gets, the better your life becomes. It's easy to say you'll start later. It's easy to say you'll save when you make more. But the truth is, if you don't save a little now, you won't save a lot later. Because it's not about the amount, it's about the mindset. And if the mindset isn't trained today, it won't show up tomorrow. Start now. Start with whatever you can. But make it a rule. Make it non-negotiable. Build the habit and stick with it. You won't feel the reward right away, but you will feel it later when it matters most. You will feel it when others are scrambling and you're steady. You will feel it when you get the chance to do something meaningful because you prepared. You will feel it when you realize that your money is no longer just sitting around, it's doing something for you. That's the power of starting early and building discipline with every dollar. You stop chasing, you start creating. You stop hoping things will change, and you start changing them. You don't just make money, you manage it. You don't just spend, you grow. And in that growth, you find the kind of freedom and strength that can't be bought, only earned through wise choices and steady action. That kind of life begins with saving, and the time to start is now. Number 2, invest consistently in things that grow over the years. Every dollar you invest in the right place has the potential to change your life. But that only happens when you make it a habit, not just a one-time action. Investing is not a game of luck. It's not about gambling. It's about being patient, consistent, and focused. When you choose to invest in things that grow over time, you're planting the seeds for something real. Not just income, but freedom. You give your future a chance to rise above stress, pressure, and limitation. But the key is to do it regularly. Not just when it feels easy, not just when the market is exciting, but through the quiet seasons, the boring seasons, and the uncertain seasons. Because that's when most people stop. That's when they get distracted. But if you keep going, you win. It's not about chasing the next big thing. It's about sticking to a plan that makes sense. Find things that have a history of growth and keep adding to them. You don't need to know everything. You just need to understand enough to move forward. Whether it's your retirement account, a stock index, a business you understand, or your own skills. Pick something that has the power to expand with time and make it a routine to add to it. Weekly, monthly, whatever your rhythm is, stick with it. When you do this long enough, you build momentum, and that momentum becomes powerful. Not overnight, but over the years it changes everything. Most people fail to grow their money because they wait for the perfect time. They say the economy isn't right, or the prices are too high, or they'll start next year. But time doesn't wait. Every year you delay is a year lost. A year where your money could have been growing. A year where your future could have been getting stronger. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be committed. Even a small investment done consistently beats a big one that's done once and never repeated. It's the steady hand that builds wealth, not the wild guesser, not the gambler, but the person who shows up month after month and keeps building. You invest not just to get rich, but to get free, to buy back your time, to build a life where you're not waking up every day just to pay bills. Investing gives you leverage. It multiplies your effort. It gives your money a job. And when your money starts working for you, things change. You're no longer the only one showing up. Your money is now part of the team. It's out there growing while you sleep, while you eat, while you spend time with the people you love. That's the reward of consistency, not the excitement of fast gains, but the strength of a solid foundation. Start with what you understand. Don't follow the noise. Don't copy people who are guessing. Find things with history, with purpose, with real value behind them. Learn about them, study them. And once you understand, act. Because knowledge without action doesn't build anything. You don't need 100 options. You just need 1 or 2 that work. And the courage to commit to them. Put your money there and keep feeding it. Ignore the ups and downs. Focus on the long game. When you invest in the right places over a long period, your confidence grows. You don't fear the headlines. You don't panic with the crowd. You have a plan, and you're following it. And that plan gives you peace, because now you're not just reacting to life. You're building it. You're shaping it. You're using time as a partner, not an enemy. You understand that wealth is built slowly and wisely, and you have the discipline to keep going, even when it's not exciting. Most people stop too soon. They invest for a few months or a year, and then quit because they don't see results. But results don't come from a few tries. They come from years of persistence, from showing up when it's hard, from trusting the process. If you stay long enough, the results will show. But you have to earn them. You have to wait for them. You have to keep planting even when the harvest isn't visible. There's nothing glamorous about consistency, but there's something powerful about it. When you look back years later and see what your effort has become, you realize it was all worth it. You didn't get there by accident. You got there by choice, by discipline, by faith in the future. That's what separates the few who win from the many who drift. It's not brilliance. It's not secrets. It's commitment to a simple plan done over a long time. Don't let fear control your actions. There will always be risks. There will always be people saying it won't work. But the risk of doing nothing is far greater than the risk of learning and trying. Inflation eats away your money while you wait. Life moves on whether you're prepared or not. You can't afford to stand still. You have to move forward, even if it's slowly, even if it's uncomfortable. Because progress builds belief, and belief keeps you going. You don't need approval from everyone. You don't need to impress anyone. Your future is your responsibility. Your choices matter. Your effort matters. Every time you invest in something that grows, you're proving that you take your future seriously, that you won't leave it to chance, that you're building a life on purpose. And that kind of person, one who shows up, one who acts, one who stays the course, is unstoppable. Look around and see how most people live. They spend everything. They hope things get better. They rely on luck and avoid responsibility. That path is crowded. Don't follow it. Choose the path of quiet effort, of steady action, of long-term focus. It may seem slow at first, but it leads to something strong, something lasting, something worth every sacrifice you made along the way. You're not just investing money. You're investing belief in a better future. You're telling yourself that tomorrow matters, that your effort has value, that you are willing to take the hard road now to enjoy the reward later. And that mindset, more than any interest rate or market, will make all the difference. Keep going. Keep investing. Keep building. The life you want is on the other side of your consistency. Number 3. Use part of your income to create new income. Every time you earn money, you're faced with a decision. You can spend it all, or you can set some of it aside and give it a new job. Most people spend everything they make. They work hard, get paid, and then it's all gone. But the ones who move forward in life do something different. They look at a portion of that income and say, this part doesn't just sit. This part works. That's how you create new streams of income, not from hope, not from luck, but from planning and action. You don't need to be wealthy to start. You don't need thousands of dollars. You just need to make a clear choice with a small portion of what you already earn. It could be 10%. It could be 5%. What matters is the intention behind it. You're no longer just earning to survive. You're earning to grow. You're using the money you've already worked for to build something that keeps paying you. That shift is powerful. It changes how you see your work. It changes how you view opportunity. You no longer chase paychecks. You start building a system that pays you back. When you use your income to generate more income, you step into a different mindset. You're thinking like a builder. A builder looks beyond the moment. They don't just think about this week's expenses. They think about next year's freedom. You may start small. Maybe it's a skill you develop that later becomes a service you offer. Maybe it's a piece of equipment that allows you to launch a side business. Maybe it's a simple product you sell or a service you promote. But no matter what it is, it started because you made the choice to set part of your income aside and give it a new mission. The money you put toward creating new income is not gone. While others are only relying on one source, you're building a second. And from there, you can build a third. That's how people create freedom. Not all at once, not from one big decision, but from small, smart moves repeated over time. You don't get there by wishing. You get there by being responsible with what you already have. There's a lot of noise out there. People trying to impress you with fast wins and big numbers. But the real secret is using what's in your hands. Use your existing income as the fuel. Take a portion and test an idea. Take a portion and develop a tool or resource. Take a portion and invest in learning something that can return value. Not every step will be perfect. Some things will take time. Some things won't work. But the lesson, the experience, and the new direction you gain, that's what makes you sharper for the next move. Nobody is going to build this for you. This is your job, your responsibility. Every month that passes where all your income goes straight to expenses is another month where your future stays in the same place. But the moment you say, from now on, part of what I earn is going to build something else, everything begins to change. That decision is where the real difference happens. It's not about having more money. It's about using the money you already earn in a better way. When you start doing this, you'll notice something else. You begin to respect your income more. You don't waste it as easily. You don't treat your paycheck like a reward to blow. You treat it like a resource. And that mindset helps you grow faster than anything else. You stop thinking like a consumer. You start thinking like a producer. And producers are the ones who lead. They're the ones who rise. They're the ones who take control of their time, their choices, and their future. You don't need a business degree. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to start. That's where most people get stuck. They overthink. They wait. They make excuses. But if you take that portion of your income and direct it into something that can grow, even a small start, it becomes a habit. And habits build results. Whether it's selling a product online, launching a service you believe in, or investing in equipment to make your work better, there are endless ways to turn income into new income. The more you do it, the better you get at it. You start to recognize patterns. You start to see opportunities. You learn from your mistakes. You adjust. And before long, you look back and realize that you've built something real. Something that started from a single decision to use a portion of your income to build more. You didn't wait for permission. You didn't wait for perfection. You just started. And that's the reason things began to grow. The person who waits for more money to begin will always be waiting. Because the truth is, if you can't use $10 wisely, you won't use 100 wisely either. It's the decision to stop wasting your earning potential and start redirecting it toward growth. Every paycheck is a chance to build. Every month is another opportunity. The only question is, will you take it? People talk about freedom. They dream about it, but freedom comes from structure, from discipline, from taking what you already have and giving it purpose. And one of the best ways to do that is to make your income produce more income. That's how you break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. That's how you start walking a new path, one where your money isn't just being spent, it's being deployed with purpose. Think about what excites you. Think about what you're good at. Think about where there's a need. Match those things and direct part of your income into it. Maybe you create something small that solves a problem. Maybe you learn a skill that brings in extra money. Maybe you buy a tool or platform that helps you get started. Whatever it is, do it with intention. Do it with urgency. And do it regularly. That's how you get ahead. That's how you stop depending on one income stream. That's how you reduce pressure and gain options. You don't need a miracle. You need a strategy. And part of that strategy is turning what you earn into something that keeps giving back. Over time, that effort becomes your advantage. That choice becomes your edge. And that direction becomes your future. Number 4. Avoid spending on things that give nothing back. Every time you open your wallet, you're making a choice. That choice either pushes you forward or keeps you stuck. Most people spend without thinking. They don't stop to ask, what will this give me in return? That's the mistake. If what you're buying doesn't improve your life, doesn't build your future, doesn't grow your strength or sharpen your mind, then it's taking from you. And when you let things keep taking from you without giving anything back, you drain your chances, you shrink your power, you lose time, money, and momentum. It's easy to fall into the trap of spending just to feel good. A new gadget, another subscription, fast food every day. Things that entertain for a moment but leave nothing behind. They create a habit of chasing comfort instead of building strength. And comfort, when it's not earned, becomes a trap. You forget what really matters. You lose sight of your long-term goals. You become numb to the feeling of purpose. That's why you must be strict with yourself, not because you hate pleasure, but because you care too much about what's possible. If you looked back at every dollar you spent in the last 30 days, how many of those dollars actually made you better? How many helped you move forward? How many made you wiser, healthier, stronger, or more prepared? That's the kind of question that changes lives. Because when you start being honest with yourself, you see where you've been leaking energy. You see where you've been too casual. And you realize that you've got more power than you thought if only you direct it better. Some people spend hundreds every month on things that never speak back to them. They don't earn anything. They don't grow. They don't help. They just exist. A pile of things bought out of habit. Meanwhile, their savings account stays empty. Their stress stays high. Their opportunities stay small. And they wonder why nothing's changing. It's because they've allowed waste to become normal. They've forgotten that every dollar has potential. If it's placed in the right hands, used in the right way, aimed at the right target. Avoiding wasteful spending isn't about deprivation. It's about respect. Respect for your effort. Respect for your future. Respect for your goals. When you say no to something that gives you nothing back, you're saying yes to something else. You're choosing to protect your focus. You're choosing to give your energy to things that matter. That kind of discipline builds character. It builds self-respect. It builds a life that doesn't crumble under pressure. Most people don't track what they spend. They don't look at the numbers, and that's how they stay stuck. You need to know where your money goes. You need to ask hard questions. Was that purchase necessary? Did it add value? Could I have done without it? When you start thinking like that, you begin to take back control. You stop being reactive. You stop being careless. You start making decisions that come from vision, not from impulse. It's not about being cheap. It's about being smart. There's a big difference. Being cheap is fear-based. It's about holding on. Being smart is purpose-based. It's about directing. You're not afraid to spend. You're just unwilling to spend on things that don't move you forward. That's how strong people think. They're not ruled by trends. They're not desperate for approval. They don't buy things to prove anything. They're focused. They know who they are, and they invest their money with intention. You'll always be surrounded by people trying to sell you things. That won't stop. You have to be the one who decides what matters. You have to set your own rules. You have to stay awake, because the cost of sleepwalking through your finances is your peace, your power, your future. You can't afford to be casual about this. Not if you want to live a life of freedom. Not if you want to build something real. You have to decide that your money is too important to waste. Every time you avoid spending on something empty, you're giving yourself another brick in the foundation of your life. You're creating space for growth. You're choosing meaning over distraction. And that habit, over time, builds strength that no one can take from you. You learn how to say no, not out of fear, but out of purpose. And every time you say no to waste, you say yes to building. You say yes to freedom. The people who rise are the people who stay mindful. They don't just let their income disappear. They guide it. They control it. They use it as a tool. That's the mindset you need. Look at your spending. Examine it. Ask yourself, does this give something back? If it doesn't, cut it. Replace it with something that does. It might be a book that sharpens your mind, a course that upgrades your skill, a tool that helps you grow. Those are the kinds of purchases that build. They stay with you. They multiply. They return value long after the money is gone. You've worked too hard to waste what you've earned. You've come too far to throw away your progress for things that disappear. Start treating every dollar like a decision, not just a transaction. Because that's what it is, a choice. You're either building your future or ignoring it. And that kind of awareness puts you ahead. It sharpens your thinking. It fuels your discipline. And it makes you someone who doesn't just survive, but rises. Number 5, track your money daily to stay fully in control. If you want to stop living in confusion, if you want to stop wondering where your money went, then you must look at it every single day. Not once a week, not just at the end of the month, every day. That daily habit keeps your mind sharp. It forces you to stay honest with yourself. It gives you clarity. The truth is, if you don't track your money daily, then your future is in the hands of chance, not choice. And that's a dangerous way to live. Most people don't track their money because they think they don't have time. But what they really mean is they don't want to face the truth. They don't want to see how much they're spending on things they don't need. They'd rather avoid that feeling. But if you avoid it, you delay your growth. You stay stuck in habits that are holding you back. You can't improve what you refuse to see. That's why daily tracking isn't just about numbers. It's about awareness. It's about self-respect. It's about owning your life one choice at a time. Every dollar you earn should be accounted for. Not because you're obsessed, but because you care. You care about where your effort is going. You care about whether your time is turning into something meaningful. If you work hard all week and have nothing to show for it, that's a problem. But you can't fix what you don't face. And when you track your money daily, you stay connected. You stay informed. You're not guessing. You know. The moment you begin this habit, you start noticing patterns. You see where you're overspending. You see what's helping you and what's hurting you. And that awareness gives you power. It's not about judgment. It's about taking control. If something isn't working, change it. If something's working well, double down. But you can't do either unless you're paying attention. People who rise in life are not casual with their money. They're intentional. They don't wait until there's a problem. They watch it closely. They learn. They adjust. Some people think tracking money is boring. They think it's too much effort. But what's boring is being broke. What's tiring is wondering why you can't get ahead. What's frustrating is living paycheck to paycheck and feeling stuck. The solution is simple. Get your eyes on your money. Make it a habit. Just 5 minutes a day. Write it down. Use an app. Check your balances. Review your spending. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be consistent. This habit teaches you discipline, and discipline builds strength. The more you practice it, the more confident you become. You're not in the dark anymore. You're in charge. You feel more in control because you are more in control. You start catching little leaks in your finances that you used to miss. You stop letting money slip through the cracks. You stop lying to yourself about what you can afford. That kind of clarity changes your decisions. It changes your habits, and it changes the direction of your life. When you track your money daily, you don't get blindsided by bills. You don't run out of money 2 days before payday. You don't get that sinking feeling in your chest when your card gets declined. You stay ready. You stay focused, and that gives you peace of mind. Real peace doesn't come from pretending everything's fine. It comes from knowing where you stand and being ready to act. Daily tracking gives you that kind of readiness. It's not just about avoiding problems. It's about setting goals and measuring your progress. When you track every day, you can see your savings grow. You can see your debt shrink. You can watch your spending tighten up. That kind of progress fuels motivation. It proves that you're making progress. And when you feel progress, you don't want to go back. You start pushing harder. You start planning better. You start aiming higher because you're no longer reacting. You're leading. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything figured out, but you do need to show up daily. That's what builds the habit. That's what strengthens the mindset. Money doesn't have to be a mystery. It doesn't have to be a source of fear. It can be a tool you manage with confidence. But that confidence starts with awareness. And awareness starts with attention. Just a few minutes a day to look, to learn, and to lead. You don't track your money just for today. You do it because of what it builds over time. It creates a standard. It shapes how you think. It raises your expectations. And it gives you something that's very hard to buy. Control over your own path. You stop drifting. You stop hoping. You stop wishing for things to get better. You take the reins. You make things better because now you're involved. You're not letting money happen to you. You're taking charge of it. That's how people grow. Not by making big changes once a year, but by making small decisions every day. That 5 minutes you take to track your money might not feel life-changing at first, but stack those days. Stack that clarity. Stack that awareness. And you'll look back one day and realize you're not the same person. You're not living in chaos anymore. You're not confused. You're focused. You're disciplined. You're ahead. And you're there because you chose to be. You don't need more money to feel better about your finances. You need more control. You need more awareness. You need to be present. Every dollar you look at is a chance to grow stronger. Every day you track is a day you build clarity. That's the kind of habit that separates those who wish from those who build. Number 6. Let your money buy freedom, not just more stuff. Most people live their lives chasing things: new shoes, new phone, a faster car, a bigger television. They work hard all week, and when that paycheck comes in, their first thought is what they can buy next. But that cycle doesn't lead anywhere good. It might give you a quick rush, a short moment of feeling like you've got something to show. But that feeling fades fast. And what's left is the same job, the same stress, the same longing for something more. That's not freedom. That's a trap. And the worst part is, it feels normal. If you want your money to change your life, stop using it to buy what you don't need. Use it to buy your time back. Use it to create space in your day. Use it to build choices into your life. That's what freedom is. The ability to wake up and decide what your day looks like. The ability to say no to things that drain you. The ability to spend your time how you want, with the people you care about, doing things that matter to you. That's real wealth. Not a pile of expensive distractions, but the ability to live life on your terms. Freedom doesn't show up by accident. You have to build it. And building it means making hard decisions today so you can have better options tomorrow. It means skipping some things that look good now so you can have something better later. It means telling yourself the truth when it's easier to pretend. And the truth is, most of the stuff people buy doesn't change their life. It just fills up closets and racks up bills. What changes your life is having control over your time. What changes your life is not being tied to a job you hate just to make ends meet. What changes your life is knowing you've got a cushion, a plan, and the discipline to make it work. Every time you spend money, you're casting a vote for the kind of life you want. If you vote for comfort now, you might lose freedom later. If you vote for what's flashy, you might be trading away your peace. But if you vote for freedom, if you choose to build security, to create income, to save and invest wisely, you're moving towards something solid. You're building a life that isn't ruled by pressure. You're designing a future that supports you instead of draining you. Freedom is quiet. It doesn't need to be shown off. It doesn't beg for attention. It shows up in small moments. When you get to stay home with your family because you've planned well, when you can walk away from a toxic situation without fear, when you take a day to rest and your bills are still paid, that's the reward. That's what you're really working for. And every time you choose to use your money to buy more time, more peace, more opportunity, you're getting closer to that reward. You don't need to be rich to feel free, but you do need to be intentional. You need to decide what matters most to you. Is it impressing people who don't know you? Or is it having control over your own life? Is it collecting stuff you'll forget about next year? Or is it creating a life you don't need a vacation from? Those questions will guide your choices, and the answers will shape your future. It's easy to say, I deserve this. And maybe you do. Maybe you've worked hard and you want to treat yourself. That's fine. But ask yourself what you're really giving up. Are you giving up a piece of freedom for another thing to carry? Are you buying comfort today at the cost of stress tomorrow? You don't have to deprive yourself, but you do have to choose wisely. Every dollar has a job. Either it's helping you build something, or it's being thrown away on something that fades fast. The best feeling in the world is not having to say yes because you're broke. It's being able to say yes because you're ready. And readiness comes from decisions you make in quiet moments, when no one's watching, when no one's clapping, when it's just you and your values. That's when freedom starts. In the decision to step off the treadmill of consumerism and start walking a path toward independence. When you stop spending money just to keep up, you start seeing life differently. You start realizing you don't need half the things you thought you did. You see through the noise, you begin to value what lasts, and you stop letting temporary pleasure control permanent outcomes. That's maturity. That's wisdom. That's the kind of thinking that gives you room to breathe. Use your money to build safety. Use it to buy options. Use it to protect your time. Use it to learn new skills that open more doors. Use it to move into a place that feels peaceful. Use it to leave a job that's killing your spirit. Use it to support the people you love. Use it to give yourself permission to rest. That's how money works best. Not when it's spent in a rush, but when it's used with purpose. If you ever wonder where your money should go, ask yourself this: will this bring me more freedom or more pressure? If it adds freedom, it's a good investment. If it adds pressure, it's a cost you can't afford. Let that question shape your choices. Let it remind you what you're working for. Life gets lighter when you stop chasing what everyone else wants and start building what you truly need. There's no trophy for being the busiest spender. There's no prize for collecting the most distractions. But there is a reward for the one who stayed focused. The one who said no when it was easier to say yes. The one who built margin into their life. That reward is peace. That reward is energy. That reward is time to do what matters. And that reward is available to anyone willing to live with intention. Number 7. Build assets that earn while you are sleeping. Every person wakes up each morning with one goal in common. They need to provide for themselves and their families. Most people exchange hours for money. They clock in, do the job, get paid, and repeat it the next day. But the clock is always ticking. You only have so many hours to sell. If you want to create a life that grows even when you're not working, you must shift your focus from only earning through effort to building something that keeps working after you stop. That's where real strength begins. Not in more hours, but in better decisions. You don't need to be wealthy to start building something that pays you back. You just need a different way of thinking. Instead of asking how to make more money today, ask how to make money that keeps coming tomorrow. That one question changes the direction of your life. If your income only comes when you're awake and working, then your freedom will always be tied to your energy. But the moment you start putting effort into something that earns even when you're resting, you open up a whole new future. Assets are not just things rich people talk about. They are the tools anyone can use to build more stability. A rental property that brings in income, a small business that runs without you, a piece of software you own, an online product that sells overnight, even simple investments that grow while you sleep. These are not just ideas, they are steps anyone can start. It takes time. It takes patience. But what it really takes is commitment to move beyond survival mode. Building assets is not about speed, it's about direction. You don't have to build a fortune overnight, you just have to take the first step. Maybe it's learning a skill that allows you to create something. Maybe it's taking some money you usually spend on fast pleasures and putting it into something that gives long-term returns. Maybe it's using your weekends to create a product or design a service. Every small move toward owning something that works for you is a step toward freedom. Imagine waking up and knowing your money didn't sleep, knowing that while you were resting, something you built kept working. That's not a fantasy. That's what happens when you take ownership of your future. That's what happens when you say, I'm done only earning when I'm tired. You take your time, your energy, your skills, your ideas, and you put them into motion. You build a system. You build a path. And that path eventually supports you without needing all your hours. It's not always exciting in the beginning. It's quiet work. The kind that no one claps for. The kind that doesn't get attention. But over time, that quiet work becomes a foundation. While others are still chasing the next paycheck, you're growing something that has its own momentum. That's not luck. That's the result of planting seeds before you need the tree. It's what separates the ones who just get by from the ones who build independence. The people who break free financially are not always the smartest. They're the most intentional. They're the ones who say, I'm not going to waste my time just consuming, I'm going to create. They're the ones who understand that money earned while you sleep is more powerful than money earned with exhaustion, because money earned passively gives you choices, it gives you room, it gives you time to think instead of rush. You have to make a choice. Will you keep spending all your effort chasing income? Or will you invest your time in building something that returns that energy back to you? You don't have to be perfect to begin. You just have to stop wasting your best hours on things that fade. If you've got an idea, start small. If you've got a little money, plant it in something that grows. Even a few minutes a day spent building something valuable can change the course of your life in a year. People often say they're too tired after work to build something. But the truth is, you're too tired because all your time is going out and none is coming back. Imagine the difference when you've got something working for you behind the scenes. That's not just financial relief, it's emotional relief. It's waking up with less pressure. It's going to bed with more peace. It's not having to panic when life throws something unexpected at you. That's what passive income does. It cushions the hard moments. It multiplies the good ones. You don't need a perfect plan to begin. You need a reason strong enough to keep going. Maybe your reason is your family. Maybe it's your future self. Maybe it's the version of you that's tired of being stretched thin. Hold on to that reason. Use it when things get slow. Use it when doubts show up. Use it when you feel stuck. Because you will feel stuck, but you'll also feel proud when that first small return comes in. When you see your effort paying off without you having to constantly chase it. Building something that earns while you sleep is not just about the money. It's about what the money gives back to your life. It gives back your evenings. It gives back your weekends. It gives back the ability to be present, to slow down, to choose how you live. That's the reward. That's what makes the effort worth it. Not the number in the bank, but the freedom in your days. You already have what it takes to begin. You've got the hours, you've got the thoughts, you've got the drive. Don't waste them. Start where you are. Look around. What do you know? What can you share? What can you build? What problem can you solve? Find the answer and then put it to work. Keep building. Keep improving. Keep showing up for yourself. Because one day when your money starts working and you're finally resting, you'll be glad you did. Number 8. Learn how money works so you stay ahead. Money is one of those things that most people never fully understand, and that's exactly why it controls so many lives. It isn't just paper or numbers on a screen, it's a tool, and like any tool, it works best when you know how to handle it. When you learn how money moves, what makes it grow, and what makes it shrink, you gain power. This power helps you make decisions that don't just react to your paycheck, but build your future. Understanding money is the key to breaking free from confusion and fear. Many people work hard but never get ahead because they don't know how money actually operates. It's like trying to win a game without knowing the rules. You might score points occasionally, but you won't finish the game as a winner. Money has patterns and principles. If you ignore them, you're at the mercy of others. If you study them, you become the one in control. Learning money's language is not a luxury. It's a necessity for anyone who wants to live life on their own terms. Understanding money means seeing it beyond the moment. Most people only think about money when it's time to pay bills or buy something. That's a short-sighted view. Money is a flow, a current, a cycle. It comes in, goes out, and sometimes sits still. You have to know when to hold it, when to move it, and when to multiply it. You have to see the impact of your choices on your financial health, years down the road, not just today. The smarter you get at this, the more your money works for you instead of against you. There are simple truths about money that everyone should know. For example, spending more than you earn will always lead to problems. Saving a little bit regularly beats trying to save a lot once in a while. Investing wisely grows your money faster than saving alone. Debt can be a tool or a trap depending on how you handle it. These principles don't change. Knowing them and applying them makes the difference between being stuck and moving forward. They create a strong foundation you can build your life on. The fear of money often comes from the unknown. People avoid thinking about their finances because they feel overwhelmed or embarrassed. That fear keeps them trapped in a cycle of struggling. Facing the facts about your money is the first step toward freedom. Open your bank statements, track your spending, understand where your money goes, don't hide from it. The more honest you are with yourself, the clearer the picture becomes. Clarity is power. Books, podcasts, courses, and even conversations with people who know more than you can be your greatest teachers. Learning how money works isn't about becoming an expert overnight. It's about building knowledge day by day. When you fill your mind with ideas about how to earn, save, invest, and protect your money, you create a mental roadmap. That roadmap guides your choices and keeps you on track. The more you learn, the fewer mistakes you make. Money changes with the world. What worked years ago might not work today. The economy shifts. New opportunities arise. Laws change. Staying ahead means staying informed. Don't let yourself fall behind because of outdated beliefs. Stay curious. Stay alert. Look for ways to adapt and improve. The people who succeed are the ones who refuse to stop learning. They keep growing alongside their money, not letting it slip away. Understanding money also means understanding your own habits and emotions. Money decisions aren't made by logic alone. Fear, pride, insecurity, and desire all influence the way you handle money. Recognizing these feelings can help you make better choices. When you realize that some urges to spend come from emotion and not need, you gain control. When you see how fear of losing money might stop you from investing, you can work through it. Emotional awareness is part of financial intelligence. Surrounding yourself with people who support your financial growth is another crucial step. If your circle talks about money only to complain or brag, you're missing the chance to learn and improve. Seek out those who are serious about their financial health. Talk openly with mentors, friends, or family who understand money and respect your goals. Shared knowledge and support strengthen your journey. You become more confident and motivated. Don't forget that learning about money is not about greed or selfishness. It's about building security for yourself and your loved ones. It's about creating options when life throws challenges your way. It's about being able to give and help without stress. The knowledge you gain becomes a tool for good. It helps you take care of yourself and contribute to others. That's a powerful purpose that goes beyond dollars. When you know how money works, you're no longer chasing after luck or waiting for a miracle. You're making smart decisions every day that add up to real progress. You don't have to be a genius to get ahead. You just need to be willing to learn and take responsibility. The path might not always be easy, but it's clearer and more confident when you understand the rules of the game. But every step you take to improve your money knowledge makes you stronger. It builds a sense of control and peace that no paycheck alone can provide. You move from confusion to clarity, from fear to confidence, from uncertainty to stability. This understanding frees you to dream bigger and work smarter. It helps you see money as a tool to build a life worth living, not just a resource to get through the month. When you master the basics and keep growing, your money starts to serve you instead of ruling you. You become the one in charge of your financial destiny. That's how you stay ahead. Number 9. Stop working only for money. Start using money wisely. There's a shift that needs to happen if you want to live a life where money serves you rather than controls you. Too many people wake up every day just to chase a paycheck. The focus is on working harder, longer hours, pushing themselves to the limit, hoping that the money they earn will solve all their problems. But this kind of thinking traps you in a cycle where your effort is tied to time and your time is limited. What if there was a better way? What if you could stop just working for money and begin making money work for you? Money should be more than just a reason to work. It's a tool that, when used wisely, can free you to live on your terms. This shift begins with understanding the difference between earning money through labor and growing your wealth through smart decisions. Working hard is important, but working smart is the game changer. It's about learning how to use your money to create new opportunities, not just spending it to keep up with daily expenses. The first step is to look at how you're using the money you earn. Ask yourself honest questions. Are you spending most of it on things that disappear quickly? Or are you putting some of it toward opportunities that could grow over time? If the answer is the former, then you're stuck in survival mode. You're trading every hour for dollars, and those dollars disappear as soon as you get them. That's a tough place to be. But the good news is that you have the power to change it. Using money wisely means seeing beyond immediate wants and focusing on long-term goals. It's a mindset that keeps your future in view even when daily temptations try to pull you away. This means budgeting your income in a way that balances living today and preparing for tomorrow. It doesn't mean you deny yourself pleasure or stop enjoying life. It means you create a plan where your spending supports your dreams, not just your habits. Part of using money wisely is cutting back on unnecessary expenses. This isn't about being cheap or missing out. It's about making intentional choices. When you stop buying things that don't add value to your life, you open space for investments that build security and growth. That might mean less eating out, skipping impulse purchases, or avoiding debt traps. It's hard at first, especially when everyone around you is spending freely. But discipline here is the foundation of freedom later. The next important step is to redirect some of your income toward income-generating assets. This is where money really starts to work for you, whether it's investing in a small business, real estate, stocks, or even your own education. Putting money into something that creates more money is powerful. It takes courage to do this because there's always risk involved. But playing it safe by just saving without growth keeps you stuck at the same place. You don't have to be rich to start. Even small amounts put to work regularly can grow over time. The key is consistency and patience. The magic isn't in getting rich quickly but in steadily building. Each decision to use your money wisely adds up. The difference between someone who stays paycheck to paycheck and someone who builds wealth often comes down to how they direct their money day by day. Wise money use also means protecting what you have. This includes avoiding unnecessary debts that drain your resources and planning for emergencies. Life throws curveballs. Without a safety net, even the smartest money plans can fall apart. Having some funds set aside for unexpected needs prevents you from going backward when trouble comes. It's a buffer that keeps your progress steady. A big part of this journey is learning how to say no. No to the pressure to keep up with others. No to instant gratification that steals from your future. No to distractions that waste your energy and resources. Saying no isn't about being negative. It's about choosing what matters most. When you control your spending, you control your life. That control gives you confidence and peace. Remember that money alone doesn't create happiness or purpose. Using money wisely connects to your values and goals. It's about creating a life where you have options, where you can spend time with family, pursue passions, and contribute to causes bigger than yourself. When money is a tool for these things, you find true wealth beyond the numbers. This path requires commitment. You'll have to change habits and face uncomfortable truths about your finances. But the rewards are worth it. Financial stress will lessen. Opportunities will grow. You'll feel more empowered knowing your money supports your dreams and not just your daily needs. This freedom changes everything. The way to stop working only for money is to start using money as a foundation for independence. Don't settle for living paycheck to paycheck. Don't wait for a raise or lottery ticket to change your life. Take control by making intentional choices with your money every day. Be patient with yourself as you learn and grow. The journey is personal, but the destination is worth every step. Wise use of money is a skill anyone can develop. It begins with a decision to see money, not just as an end but as a means to freedom, security, and opportunity. When you shift your mindset this way, you unlock potential that feels endless. Your money starts to serve your life goals instead of controlling your daily grind. No one can do this perfectly. Mistakes will happen, but that's part of learning. What matters is that you keep moving forward. Use every experience as a lesson and every dollar as a tool. Build your knowledge, build your discipline, and build your future. When money works for you, life becomes richer in every sense. Number 10. Create a long-term plan and stick to the process. Building wealth is not about quick wins or lucky breaks. It's about having a clear vision for where you want to go, and then committing yourself to the steps that will get you there. Creating a long-term plan is the foundation of financial success. Without it, you drift aimlessly, reacting to every new opportunity or setback, without direction. The power lies in designing a plan that fits your life, and holding yourself accountable to follow through, even when the excitement fades or challenges arise. A long-term plan is more than just numbers on a page. It's a commitment to your future self. When you map out your financial goals, you give your money purpose. It stops being a source of stress and becomes a tool for achieving freedom. The plan serves as a constant reminder of why you save, invest, and make tough choices. Every dollar saved, every risk taken thoughtfully, every sacrifice made has meaning because it's part of a bigger picture. This plan must be realistic. It should reflect your income, your expenses, and your dreams. Unrealistic goals can lead to frustration and giving up. The process involves assessing where you are today and where you want to be in 5, 10, or 20 years. Then you break those big goals into smaller, achievable steps. These steps create momentum. They build confidence because each success is proof that you are moving in the right direction. Sticking to the process requires discipline. It means doing the right things even when you don't feel like it. When the temptation to spend on unnecessary things creeps in, the plan keeps you focused. When unexpected expenses arrive, the plan guides your decisions. It's easy to get discouraged by slow progress or setbacks, but consistent action over time compounds into meaningful results. The ability to stay on course separates those who build lasting wealth from those who don't. Life is unpredictable, and the plan should be flexible enough to adapt. You might need to adjust goals or strategies as circumstances change, but the core commitment to growth and responsibility must remain firm. Flexibility doesn't mean giving up. It means learning and responding wisely. The plan becomes a living document, evolving with you but always anchored in your values. Accountability is a crucial part of sticking to your plan. It helps to share your goals with someone who encourages and challenges you. This could be a partner, a mentor, or a community of like-minded individuals. When others know your vision, it becomes harder to abandon it. You'll find motivation in their support and wisdom. Accountability also sharpens your focus because it demands honesty about your progress and setbacks. Daily habits matter more than occasional big efforts. Making small, consistent moves aligned with your plan adds up. Whether it's setting aside a fixed amount each month, reviewing your expenses regularly, or educating yourself about money, these habits build a strong foundation. The daily discipline you develop shapes your financial future more than any one-time windfall. Emotions play a big role in financial decisions. Fear, greed, impatience, or doubt can derail even the best plans. Recognizing these feelings and learning to manage them is part of the process. A long-term plan helps you move beyond emotional reactions by providing clear guidelines. It creates confidence because decisions are based on a strategy, not on impulse or external pressure. Education fuels your ability to follow the plan effectively. As you grow, you learn about different investment options, tax strategies, and ways to protect your wealth. This knowledge empowers you to make better choices. It also reduces anxiety because you understand the risks and rewards. The plan evolves as you gain insight, but the commitment to consistent action stays steady. Patience is a powerful ingredient. Wealth does not appear overnight. It builds quietly and steadily when you stick to the process. This can test your resolve when results are not immediately visible. The ability to delay gratification, to trust the process, and to keep working toward your goals defines your financial character. Those who succeed embrace this reality and find satisfaction in progress itself. Creating a long-term plan also means thinking about legacy. What you build today can impact generations to come. This adds another layer of motivation and responsibility. Your plan becomes a pathway not just for personal success, but for creating opportunities for those you care about. This vision inspires you to stay focused when distractions threaten to pull you off track. The process of planning requires honesty with yourself. You must be willing to face where you are financially, including debts, spending habits, and weaknesses. Without truth, the plan lacks foundation. This honesty is liberating because it opens the door to improvement. It shows you where to focus your energy and how to allocate resources more effectively. Technology can assist in maintaining your plan. Tools like budgeting apps, automatic transfers, and investment platforms make it easier to stay organized and consistent. These tools remove friction and help you track progress. They turn abstract goals into concrete milestones that you can see and celebrate. A long-term plan is also about mindset. It's a commitment to growth and responsibility. It shapes how you view challenges and opportunities. Instead of reacting, you act with purpose. You develop resilience because setbacks are part of the journey, not the end of it. This mindset shift is what transforms your financial life. The power in creating and sticking to a long-term plan is that it makes your money work for you over time. Every decision, every saved dollar, every smart investment contributes to a future where you control your time and choices. This is freedom in its truest form. The process requires courage and faith, courage to face reality, to make sacrifices, and to keep going when it's hard. Faith that the steps you take today will bring results tomorrow. This faith is built through action, not hope alone. It's earned by showing up every day with intention. Staying with the process also means celebrating small wins. Recognizing progress fuels motivation and reinforces good habits. Each milestone reached is proof that your plan works. These moments build momentum and keep you moving forward even when the road is long. Remember that you are the architect of your financial future. Creating a long-term plan and sticking to it is the most powerful decision you can make. It turns your dreams into achievable goals. It transforms money from a source of stress into a tool for freedom. The journey is ongoing, and commitment is key. When you choose to stay the course, you build a life where money serves you, not the other way around.